Falcon fans. Well, scream y'all. Don't fuck with me now. Falcon fans, Falcon fans, Falcon fans. And of course, Falcon fans. Special guest in the building? Sheesh. One time for the fan. You already know what it is. You already know what it do. Episode 153 here, talking Falcons football. Dirty Fanatics United is in the building. Chase 1000 is here. What's good, Chase?
What's good, brother? Can't complain. Living life. Coming off of a Dirty Bird win, so feeling good, man.
Has been a little minute since Chase has been here on the podcast, chatting it up with us, which of course, you know, Falcon fans, Chase has always been so positive when it comes to these Atlanta Falcons and what this team could do, but it hasn't been the greatest season for most of us Falcon fans here. And it's always good to have Chase take the time out of his day to come chat with us here on One Time for the Fan about what the Atlanta Falcons can do. But Chase, I'm glad you have everything going well with you away from the Atlanta Falcons. Of course, here on One Time for the Fan, you know, we're going to pull you back in, man. We're going to pull you back into what we got going on with the Dirty Birds. Falcon fans in the chat, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. I know a lot of people were probably waiting for the show last night. We did not have a podcast last night, so we are here tonight. Quick pop-up Thursday show to chat with you all on the Atlanta Falcons. A lot is going on, so hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe. Big shout out to Kiki. She will be back with us I believe on Sunday's show, and big shout out to Bodie 3000 too as well, who is not here with us tonight. So One Time for the Fan is here to chat it up with you all and talk Falcons football. LaMarcus Boyd is here in the chat. One time for the fan. Marcus Boyd said, "What's up, fellas? What's good, LaMarcus?
Appreciate you tuning in, brother."
Hey, Chase, you know I got my new Falcons, you know, this is big, you know, I got my new Falcons, you know, mouse pad. Got my new Falcons, you know, new mouse.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? It's geared up over here. Big shout out to the ones who look out for your boy. But yeah, man, Falcons mouse and mouse pad is actually going to be working well going into the 2024 season. This is going to bring us a trophy. This is going to bring us a champion. This is what we were waiting for all this time. The fucking mouse and the mouse pad. That's what we was waiting for. Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe. Cartier Walker is in the building. He's throwing emojis around. Big shout out to Cartier Walker. We got Avutz is in the chat. Avutz.
Fill up. What's good, brother?
DFU is here to talk some Falcons talk. What's good, boys? What's good, Avutz? Everything good? Feel you good?
Shout out to
Chase
you,
is going down in a major way. Chase, big win, because you wasn't here Sunday with us talking Falcons football. Big win from the Atlanta Falcons defeating the Indianapolis Colts. Chase, it took us almost 13, 14 weeks to get a dominating win in the NFL, which a lot of other teams have had theirs throughout the season. Falcons just got theirs late in the season with still 2 games left to go now. What did you see with the Falcons Colts on Sunday?
Well, just from the start, man, Nate Lamon, it's so nice to see him back out on the field. That's been a lot of our problem, you know, with the Onamata being out. We've seen a lot of teams run against us, and that's something that didn't really happen Sunday with the return of Jonathan Taylor. So that there alone was huge to me to see the type of presence that Onamata and Nate Lamon bring to that defense, along with Caden Ellis, man, been balling out all year. So Jesse Bates goes on to get his number 6 interception on the season. So all in all, as a fan, man, it was awesome. It felt good. I was actually there at the game to see it, so it was even more better of an experience for me. Offense, man, just seemed to be clicking. We came out the first drive, and I don't think we ran the ball a single time until we scored, you know, the touchdown. But we were just throwing the ball, and Taylor Heineke just really seemed to understand what was going on Sunday. He seemed to know where his checkdowns were, and I seen a lot of better play calling. I seen some play routes where there were not 1 but 2 checkdowns, something that, you know, quarterbacks that aren't on that next level kind of need. So all in all, you've seen a 100% round game in the Atlanta Falcons Sunday against the Colts.
Falcon fans, I know you all felt good walking about the bends on Sunday. I know most of y'all felt good watching or listening to the game where you were when you heard The score was 29-10. The Falcons came away with a dominating victory. And of course, Chase, you definitely hit on the nose right there with Nate Landman, Caden Ellis. I mean, David Amiyata. I mean, some of these players, Nate Landman stepping up because of the Troy Anderson situation this year, of him getting injured. Caden Ellis coming over from the Saints. David Amiyata coming over from the Saints. Ryan Nielsen. Hey, Ryan Nielsen, if you're listening, you're a fucking goat. Big shout out to Ryan Nielsen over there too as well. It's the players that you put in the building that, changes a lot for the team. And when Caden came over, people was looking at, oh, you guys got a guy who the Saints got
one season
wonder type of guy. But no, you see now with him working side by side with Landman, even working with Troy Anderson early in the season, that Ellis was going to be a guy to get in there and stop some shit. He was going to get in there to make things happen. And I'm glad that Ellis is here on the team because it does present, a situation in the offseason of what you want to do, which I do think they will, bring Ellis back because that is a guy who's
no doubt. Yes, sir.
Ceiling's going to be through the roof. Nate Landman too as well. But to have now Chase, Troy and Nate and 100% Troy healthy, which we want next season.
Yeah, no doubt.
But if you put those three together, I mean, the linebacker room could be looking immaculate next season, Chase.
Yeah.
When you could be, not only bringing in some new bodies, but you guys like Landman and Ellis that stepped up in a major way this year for the Atlanta Falcons. So it was good to see the dominating win. But of course, Drake London, big shout out to him too as well. Kyle Pitts on scoring the touchdown, like you said. Taylor, the play calling, some of those plays I drew up. So don't want to
do it this Sunday, bro. Are you traveling to Chicago?
Shit, I am not. But
I need you there.
But the book bag has been delivered.
Okay.
And the plays will definitely be with the coach on Sunday. But some of those plays that you saw against the Colts, which we're not discrediting the Colts, Chase. The Colts came in there looking for a win. This ain't no ass team.
Yeah, defense, I believe they're like top 10 in run stop. So Colts are definitely a good team.
Mm-hmm. Having them come into the building and seeing the way the Falcons played under a not so sold out crowd. Let's just go ahead and put it out there. The stadium wasn't packed to the T, but you saw fans to the point where the ones that believe they were in the building. The ones that knew this team could go out there and beat the Colts, Chase, you saw it. They were in the building. Third down, Chase, you felt it. The Jesse Bates interception, you heard it. Definitely. The energy is here. And next year, you're going to need that, Falcons fans, because this was the last home game of the season. You now go into next year where you have the Cowboys coming to town. You have the Kansas City Chiefs coming to town. You have the New York Giants coming to town. 3 fan bases that are going to come out here and buy up some damn tickets. So Falcon fans, to end the season on a win, knowing that you still have 2 games left on the table and you can possibly make the playoffs, and then next year you can come back and have a home opener against a team like you need these wins. Fans want to have these type of they want to feel good knowing next year, hey, we ended the season on a 3-game win streak. Maybe we'll come back in here in the Benz, have a home opener next year, bust the Panthers' ass or so, bust the Tampa. Who knows who will play? But chances are, if you come back in here for a home game next year, it feels good that you left out of the stadium with a win last season. So big shout out to the Falcon fans that was there in the building. LaMarcus Boyd said, our boys was clicking on all cylinders. It was great to see.
Yeah, and shout out to Zach Harrison as well, a young rookie finally getting some playing time. Clark Phillips, another one that's really got a lot of playing time here recently. So nice to see some later round draft picks starting to get playing time and really start to shine.
And it goes over the offseason because a lot of times Falcon fans forget a lot of things because the season moves pretty fast. Remember the Terry is cooking memes, Chase, back in the offseason when Terry had on the phone and he had the Terminator eyes and Terry's cooking. A lot of these draft picks, we talked about it on draft night, Chase. You saw Bodie's face when Bijan was drafted.
Yeah.
Same for Clark Phillips when it came up. Same for DeMarco Helms, too, as well. These are some of the players that fans were saying, nah, I don't think they're going to get no shine over here in Atlanta. Shit. Them boy taking people's jobs out there. Them boy balling out there.
Yep.
Clark Phillips is balling on a whole nother level. DeMarco Helms is balling on a whole nother level. And it starts raising these off-season questions. Chase, we're 15 minutes into the podcast. We mentioned off-season 2-3 times here already because we're games away. But it raises the question of what do you do with Richie Grant?
Okuda.
What do you do with Akuda next season when you got talent like this that's shining? Lakel London too as well. Is he fighting for a job here in Atlanta next year? Next beside Grady Jarrett?
Somebody, another name you could throw out there that I was not very big on to start the season, and I talked about him a lot actually.
Can I name it? Can I name it before you say it?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Is it Bud Dupree?
No,
Okay,
not Bud
okay.
Dupree. I wrote with Bud Dupree. It was Mike Hughes, man. I wasn't very sold
Mike
on Mike Hughes, and Hughes is really, really fielding the game for the past 2 games. I've seen him on the field. So shout out to Mike Hughes, man. Keep balling. Maybe you make the 53 next year.
We did see the snap count, and apparently, don't know what's going on. We're not the coaches. We're not on the coaching staff. We don't have a source that's in the locker room with the team. But the snap count of Mike Hughes going up more and D. Alford taking now a step back. I heard fans being chatty about that too as well. I'm still on the Team Glow bus. I know he stepped up playing more punt return this season too as well. Falcon fans, this offseason is going to be amazing for us here at One Time for the Fan, because we are going to cover a lot what we can with the Falcons, because you have a quarterback situation, you have a head coaching situation, a coaching staff. What are they going to do? OC, wide receiver 2, Kyle Pitts going into his contract. You're looking at some things.
Coach.
Sheesh. AJ Terrell, you gonna pay the man? What are you finna do? Like this? These are just the moments for Falcon fans that when you get ready.
AJ, I mean, can we still franchise tag AJ? Do we still have that option?
I believe right now, yes.
I think we do.
You can, but you're going to pay him up to 15 or more.
Oh, yeah, and AJ's getting every bit of it.
He deserves it.
Yes, sir.
He deserves it. But that goes to who you're going to pair for year 2. Because you're going to lock down a guy that's going to be the hometown kid from Atlanta. He's going to be here in Atlanta, probably going for the next, 4
to 5 years.
4 or 5 years. Going to, how old is he now? We got to go check and see how old he is. I think he's still around 25, 26.
Yeah, something like that.
So you're going to get him going into his 30s for a cornerback right now. You're looking at AJ probably going to retire a Falcon. These are the type of things I love to see going forward as a fan. Grady Jarrett's going to retire a Falcon. Jake Matthews is going to retire a Falcon. You drafted these players not only for, their skill and what they can bring to the team, but just the excitement of what they can do for the city. I mean, the AJ Terrell jerseys are through the roof. The fan base that loves AJ Terrell here. And he's also played with that passion too as well. You have to love a player like AJ Terrell. You'd want to pay a guy like AJ Terrell. Some would say differently about, Duke Riley, who's played here before in the past. But an AJ Terrell, Grady Jarrett, Jesse Bates, who wasn't drafted here in Atlanta, who now has came over and made this impact. I know fans are like, keep him here forever. Age reduction on Madden. Send him back a couple years. We need him here now, because they make these certain type of impacts for your team. And it does make fans feel good. When Julio was here, y'all know that feeling putting on that Julio jersey every Sunday. When Matt was here, that feeling putting on that Matt Ryan jersey every Sunday. So to have players like Helms in the building now and Clark Phillips in the building now, Zach Harrison in the building, Terry did a good job. He was cooking in the right way. And we're going to get to the offseason here soon, here One Time for the Fan. But Chase, we're going to ask a question here tonight about this quarterback situation, where not only the Falcons are going to be fucking aggressive in the next couple months. I can name 6 to 7 more teams that want those same 4 quarterbacks that y'all naming right now, and they're probably got a better position to go get them to.
No doubt.
So it's going to leave the question of what the Falcons will do this offseason with the quarterback. Chase, let's go ahead and get straight to some topics here, because we always love talking Falcons football.
Oh, yeah.
Hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button, bring your Falcon friends in, tag your Falcons family. We have the One Time for the Fan giveaway at the end of the season. If you want to be a part of the giveaway, we'll tell you the details at the end of tonight's podcast. Apple Podcast, Spotify Podcast, just Google us. We are definitely on the move. So big shout out to everybody who's here in the chat, chatting with us. Chase, Bears, Falcons, Sunday. Must-win game for the Falcons. Hell, every game this season was a must-win game for the Falcons. I don't even want to call this a fucking trap game no more. It's 2 games left at the end of the year.
This is the legit must-win game. If you want to make the playoffs, this is your chance. And, I'm not behind the scenes, but if Arthur Smith wants to stay in Atlanta, maybe this is a must-game win. Who knows? There's a lot to talk about. With the Atlanta Falcons.
If you're just going over, and this is the cool thing about having a podcast, I mean, we try to chop everything up within an hour, but Chase, we can spend a whole hour talking about the must-win game for Arthur Smith this Sunday. How is
Yep.
detrimental to him too as well. Chase, Falcons, Bears, game-wise, prep-wise, team-wise, what do they need to do to go in there and beat the Bears, though?
Well, it starts with the run game, man. You got to go in there and you got to know how to rotate your backs and who to use, when to use them. And that's something that's going to be tough, I believe, Sunday, because not only, do the Bears got some dogs on the defense, but they have the number one run stopping defense in the NFL right now, from what I've been seeing on TV. So, Taylor Heineke, something he's had problems with throughout his career is being consistent. We've seen a little glimpse of that here in Atlanta in 2 short games, but maybe Heineke can come out and still be on that high horse that he was on last Sunday in Atlanta. He is the Atlanta boy, so maybe he wants to be in Atlanta just as bad as anybody else does. Defense has got to keep on with the high note, man. Defense is going to win us this game Sunday. It seems to be like anytime the defense is balling, it's won us the games. So if defense can stay high and contain Justin Fields in the pocket, keep him from scrambling so much, I think we'll be okay. Not too much worried about DJ Moore. Like I said, Terrell Allen's going to take care of that. Their running back, he's okay. So like I said, we just got to be keyed on defense and still move the ball on offense.
Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Chase 1000, Dirty Fanatics United is here in the building. Bubba Gump, Sonia Norwood, She's ATL, Dwayne Ruffin, Lamarcus Boyd, Avutz is in the chat. Kenny Sambria is also in the chat too as well. Stevie Correga, Cartier is here in the chat too as well. It's going down in a major way. Tag your Falcons friends. Tag your Falcons family. Happy holidays, everybody. Let's talk Falcons football. Chase, you hit it right there in the nose about containing Justin Fields. They have to contain Justin Fields. These are plays where when everything breaks down, this motherfucker's still using his feet. Don't care how you look at it. Hell, his first option is to use his feet. He's just looking at motherfuckers who's open. So if he's going to be the Justin Fields that we've been seeing the past couple of weeks, you could have not knocking the Falcons because I think defensive-wise they've been doing a really good job, but you don't want a 21-19 game in the fourth quarter with Fields driving down the field. It could get ugly. You want to make sure you dominate this game, same as you did with the Colts. Put their ass away early. And for the Falcon fans, I know, Chase, this is big. Let's get away from the game prep now. There are fans who are watching this game for a different reason. We're going to go ahead and say it. They're watching this game because they do believe, and big shout out to Jordan Schultz too as well from The Athletic. I believe he's retiring too as well. But he did mention some news about the Falcons not wanting Justin Fields already. They passed on that earlier. But there are fans that are watching and saying, hey, you know what? This could be the game. This is Justin Fields' interview for Atlanta right here. For next season.
It very well could be. Nobody really knows what's going to happen. Am I a big fan of Justin Fields? Nah. But if he's in Atlanta and he's in an Atlanta uniform, I'll be repping him. Justin Fields does have some good tape. I watched him in college. He went to an SEC school for a reason and transferred to Ohio State. So Justin Fields has been in some big games in his career, college-wise. NFL, some quarterbacks just don't fit scheme in certain areas. And let's be honest, Chicago really hasn't been a really appeasing team to Justin Fields since he's been there. So, maybe
he was drafted there. I don't think he was supposed to be.
Yeah,
he was drafted.
Yeah. So maybe Justin Fields is in Atlanta next year. And if that's the guy moving forward.
I'm not, and we are not jumping on the Fields to Atlanta train, but that quarterback question that we will talk about, we want to make sure that you guys, if you're listening to One Time for the Fan, you're watching One Time for the Fan, that we at least discussed it. So we didn't stay far from it.
Right.
The Fields talk is possible that he could be coming to Atlanta. The media ties of, the Falcons are connected to this player, and the Falcons are connected to this player. Sometimes I just keep scrolling, but then again, it makes you wonder, well, what if behind the scenes? You got to
look at it. Yeah,
you got to look at it.
The past few years, you've gotten rumors about, Deshaun Watson to Atlanta. That was a real deal. Lamar Jackson to Atlanta. We entertained it for a little bit of time. So, I mean, I think it's got a little bit of truth to it, just a little bit.
And then when you mentioned that too as well, how did they entertain it with the Lamar Jackson talk? Because still today, to this moment of Lamar balling out, there's still media personnel fighting back and forth. throwing subs at each other, saying, "Well, they wasn't letting Lamar go," and then other people say, "No, they were going to let some people talk." It's crazy how
It wasn't gonna happen.
you see what I'm saying. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the Deshaun Watson, the Lamar Jackson talk, Desmond Ritter, last year Marcus Mariota, you left for Matt Ryan. Man, we're starting to feel like a team that really needs a quarterback here, Chase. It's
Sounds
starting
like
to
the
hurt here.
Colts.
It's
Starting to sound
starting
like
to
the
hurt.
Colts.
We might get back Phillip Rivers at this fucking point. See what he got going on. Falcons, Bears, what they need to do to beat the Bears on Sunday, they definitely have to contain Justin Fields. He does extend plays a lot with his feet. You guys know what he can do. And it's a big game for that defense to step up. They've been doing a really good job this season of keeping the games close. They haven't been blown out all year. I don't expect the Bears to come in there and blow us out too as well. And that's a hats off to the defense because I can at least lean on my defense to know we're going to be good enough to be in the game. What is my offense going to do? This is where that's the identity I was trying to get to earlier this year on the podcast. Like we have to know that. I know last year we would pound the fucking rock on you 24/7, hit you with a couple play actions. This year it's been kind of difficult, you know what I'm saying, because of the play calling with Coach Smith and everything. But I see the Falcons coming away with a win. Defensively, they're just better than the Chicago Bears. Offensively, let's give it to Taylor. I do know Taylor dealing with the ankle injury, I believe it is.
I haven't heard anything about that. That's Dylan, by the way. Shout out to
It
you,
was
bro.
a small, I think it was an ankle sprain or something that he had him doing like limited practice earlier this week.
Listen, bro. After the fine, any kind of injury is gonna be reported. Any little injury will be reported.
Hey, Drake London gets a splinter, they're gonna report it. I can tell you right now. Avis is in the chat. He said, could we see a possible 3LB set next season? So here's the thing about that now. If you have Nielsen back, which I do think Nielsen will be back, you're just gonna add on what you couldn't get to this year. So some of those schemes you're gonna go look at and say, okay, I ran a lot of nickel 2-4-5 this year. But you do sub a lot of players out too as well. I think Zach Harrison caught a lot of rotation this year.
Yep.
Albert Huggins caught some rotation. Lakel London caught some rotation. Kadarius Street caught some rotation. That's just going on the defensive line. Andre Smith got in there too as well because players get injured. So it's possible that you're going to see Troy, Ellis, Lamon all eating up a lot of playing time next year. And that's what you want. But then if Troy goes down, who's the next man up? See, that was the big thing for the Falcons this year. When Troy went down, Lamon stepped up to it. Fans were like, oh, God, Nate Lamon, here we go. But 15 weeks later, you're like, that's a Pro Bowler. Pro Bowler. It makes you feel a little bit different when you see the player play. So I think you're going to draft. You got to. I mean, you've done a good job drafting. I mean, with Troy Anderson too as well. He's a stud. Some people say he might be a bust. Some people say he's like the next Luke Kuechly. I don't believe that. He got caught in a situation where he had a concussion. I mean, it happens with players in the NFL. Could you know where AJ Terrell is going to turn on Sunday? Do you know where DJ Moore is going to turn and catch the pass on Sunday and take a hit? We don't know. Some things just happen. But Troy Anderson is not a bust. I think his skill set shows that he could fit into what this defense has for Ryan Nielsen. Nate Lamon showed that. But to have all three players back, and let's mention too, Troy, Ellis, Lamon, these ain't no $50 million type wide linebackers. Let's put that out there, right? You're not going to pay Nate Lamon $40 million next year. You're not going to pay Troy Anderson $25 million. You're not going to pay Caden Ellis $30 million. You're eating with what you have, and I think you have to feel good about that because Ellis was eating this year. Lamon has been eating since he stepped on the field. And Troy Anderson was just going to fit in and do the same exact thing. It's a scheme fit. It's just working out well. Some would say Rashad Evans could have been in there. Nah, I think you see Rashad Evans couldn't have played in that. It would have been a little bit different with what Nielsen wanted. He wanted attackers, high flyers, side-to-side type linebackers. I'm telling you, he don't – of course, because the NFL is all about names. Everybody wants to hear this big name.
Right.
Nate Lamon might not come off to you as this big-name linebacker, right? Caden Ellis didn't come off as this big-name linebacker. But for the Atlanta Falcons this year, they did their fucking job. And I got to give a hats off to those two players right there because I think Lamon right now is like third in linebacker Pro Bowl voting. Knowing it's a new Pro Bowl now, I know how they're playing flag football and shit. I don't care. To know that people are voting for Nate Lamon, it's not just Atlanta. It's a nationwide votes. So Nate Lamon is showing up all over the board here. So big shout out to the linebacker crew. Big shout out to Ryan Nielsen, Coach Gray. I don't want to lose that coaching staff next year. I want them to just improve in areas where they needed to improve. And it seemed like it was the play calling on the offensive side of the ball. So, that's my Jack Spade rant about Falcons football right there, I guess. But I love the Atlanta Falcons when they do stuff like this. Falcons beating the Bears on Sunday. It's definitely going to be possible. I see them doing that. Let's go to the offseason, Chase.
Mm-hmm.
Falcons have to be aggressive to get the guy that they want in this draft. Why do they have to be aggressive? I'm going to tell you now. There are teams who need quarterbacks. And going just from the last podcast we had to today, Chase, shit has happened in the NFL.
Yeah.
Call it how you want, Falcons fans. I'm going to call it how I see it. Sam Howell being benched in Washington shows it's very possible that they could be attacking a quarterback in the draft next year.
Yeah, that's what that means.
That's what that means.
Yeah.
Let's throw Minnesota into the mix too as well.
They're another one.
Oh, wait a minute. Russell fucking Wilson.
Yep.
I was expecting to go to Denver next year and see us play Russell Wilson. That is not the case. Russell Wilson now. And Atlanta Falcon fans who don't know too much about future.
Mm-hmm.
They already, oh man, Russell Wilson, come on home, big dog. Come on, big dog. Man, that's an expensive ass Russell Wilson now.
Mm-hmm.
That's a price target probably way over your head, Falcon fans. I might want to leave that one alone, Bo. Might use my big country voice on that one. Might leave that one alone there, Bo. I'm good on the Russell Wilson talk, but you got to put out there Russell Wilson is now in the mix to be a quarterback somewhere in Atlanta. Justin Fields, we just talked about that. Mac Jones, too, as well. Kirk Cousins. Tannehill. What's going to happen with the Raiders next year with their quarterback situation?
Mm-hmm.
There are teams that need some quarterbacks right now, so the Falcons have to be very aggressive in the offseason of who they want and why they want them. Chase, right now, with 2 games left in the season, you get a call tomorrow randomly from Terry. He says, Chase, I've been watching your podcast. I want to know who you think we should target right now in the draft. What need is right there for us right now for the Atlanta Falcons? What would you say?
At number 1, I'm going quarterback. And I'm taking Jaden Daniels. As of now, I'm taking Jaden Daniels.
So, Chase, right now, with 2 games left in the season, big shout out to all the fans in the chat too as well. A lot of times we get rolling here with the Talking Falcons content. It is difficult to get to everybody's comment, but we love Talking Falcons football.
But I will say,
we'll get to your comments. Go ahead, Chase.
I will say, if you're going to draft a quarterback in the first round, you must hire somebody to be QB coach. Somebody's got to mentor this kid. And if that's sticking with Heineke until this kid proves himself, then so be it.
One thing you got to look for, shout out to Philip Carford. One thing you got to look for, Chase, you mentioned Jaden Daniels. Perfect. Have no problem with it. I'm going to be right here talking about it. Chase, I'm sure you're going to be right here talking about it. Everybody's going to be talking about it. But if you win the next 2 games, your shot of getting Jaden Daniels seems to be moving further and further away.
Yep.
So that means you have to do what? You have to be very aggressive in this draft to know. And, we're not in the boardroom. We keep mentioning that. But, Chase, these teams talk amongst each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know how everybody knows who 1 through 5 might be a week before the draft.
Yeah. Who owns the first pick?
The Bears, right?
The Bears, that's right. That's right.
So I think majority of us is lining up to say the Bears are going quarterback. Who's the quarterback they're going to get? People saying it's Caleb Williams. That's going to be the shocker.
Yeah.
When it's not going to be Caleb Williams, and it might be a Jaden Daniels, and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah. then the phone
But
is
we
going to
can't
start
talk
ringing.
about April, huh?
Then the phone is going to start ringing. If Caleb Williams slides past number 1, the phone is going to start ringing. I don't know if it'll be Atlanta Falcons, but somebody's calling to move up.
I can tell you right now, we need Pamela Johnson in the chat because Pamela Johnson called Bijan since day one.
Yes, she did.
And she might know who the next selection for the Atlanta Falcons might be next year. But big shout out to everybody here in the chat. LaMarcus Boyd, did you hear what Minshew said after the game in the interview? They were not even worried about us. Dummy, you should have been. Buster, psych.
Got him.
He remember that going forward. Avus is in the chat. He said, I'm sorry, I like Richie, but he's getting outshined big time. Just a matter of time till he's gone. I feel like the great production from Helms. I know he's probably finishing his comment, but yes, Helms has stepped up in a way where we talked about the snap count. Helms, did they bench? Don't want to say the bench word, but did they pull back on the snap count for Richie to make more snaps for DeMarco Helms? It looks
DeMarco
like
Helms is out here leading games with tackles. I mean, he's a magnet to the field. If he produces like that, he's going to be out there.
That is something to look at going forward here, Falcon fans, because there are players that are going to be staying and there's players that's going to be going. Hasn't nobody talked about Zoe Carter yet? Is Zoe Carter staying here? Is Bud Dupree going to be here next year? People want Campbell back. At this point, I'm fucking voting for Campbell to come back.
Yeah.
I'm using my age reduction trait on Calais Campbell.
Yeah.
You put Calais Campbell with this team next year and have Grady Jarrett back with David. Oh my God. Come on now, Falcon fans.
Like, speaking about the offseason,
yes, sir.
What would you do right now?
I tell you, Chase. I'm gonna go with what I said before the season started. You know, I don't see us going wide receiver 2. I didn't see that. That's a free agency move. I don't see us going offensive lineman. Because if you're looking at the line that we have, I think they're settled with Jake Matthews, Chris Lindstrom, Caleb McGarry. Dahlman are going to give, of course, another year or two. And then Bergeron, you got the last year to be your piece going forward. So I don't see that happening. They're not going to get a safety because you got a fucking stud and Jesse Bates back there. And now you've taken DeMarco Helms and put him now in place of Richie Grant. So if Richie's gone and Helms is there, you don't need a safety to play. The cornerback situation is big, but I don't see a cornerback in the top 15 worth even shooting up for. So, Chase, I have to I can't believe this. I have to go and say that I think the quarterback position was most on my mind right now in the first round.
Yeah.
And if you go and be aggressive and do it correctly, you could slide back up. See that Calvin Ridley pick is going to be interesting.
Yeah,
because right now you need that second round pick.
Yeah, that's your trade up right there, for sure.
But
Hot
Falcons,
picks and a number 2.
Sheesh. What I want them to do, Chase, I want them to be aggressive. I want for us to end the podcast draft night and to hear that the Falcons traded back up to go get somebody they wanted. I want to see from the moment offseason starts that we're filling in the pieces that we needed to get those extra wins that we're supposed to get this year, because those trap games are going to kill us next year. Ain't no fucking trap games next year. Them is teams is coming to fucking fight.
Yeah,
I'm not looking at the Jets next year and looking at I'm not looking at no trap game next year. You got the fucking Cowboys, you got the Chiefs. You got some teams that they want to put some bang bang football here.
Yeah.
So you got to be on your shit next year. But yes, the Falcons in the offseason have to be very aggressive, depending on if they're at 15, if they're at 16, if they're at 13. To get your guy, you just can't sit there. You might have to make some moves.
What quarterback gets your attention though? Which one would you take the chance on?
Right now, Michael Penix and Jaden Daniels.
I like Michael Penix. He's straight.
Yeah. Michael Penix has done a great job this season, bringing Washington to where they are. I think he's done a phenomenal job. He's accurate now. You can put the ball on the money now. He got a little arm on him. Kid can throw. I ain't saying he can throw better than me, 80 on the run.
Shit.
You know what I'm saying? But the kid can throw. Big shout out to any Falcon player who's getting ready to help this team in April. We want to give you an early shout out now. Larry O, celebrities in the chat. He said, "Good evening, guys. How y'all doing? Lord, I don't know how I made it there Sunday because I was really sick, but I couldn't miss it." Let's take Larry O as a fan. Larry O is a diehard fan. He spends his money going to home and away games. He's a fan just like me, where Chase has been for what, 5-6 years of you haven't made the playoffs.
Yeah.
So hearing Larry's comment, like, man, I don't know how I made it to that game on Sunday. Larry, because you're a fan, man.
Dog.
Because you're a diehard fan. I said this, man. I be sitting over there. Chase, you see me in the chat sometimes. I'd be like, what? How the hell? Boy, Chase, you remember my chat? You remember me when I was in London?
Yeah.
You remember when I was in London sitting at the game texting y'all? I was like, what the
three plays ahead of me.
Bro. 5 hours ahead of you and 3 plays ahead. I'm sitting over there texting like, what the is this? Embarrassing. Flew all the way out here for this. I'm glad the nightlife was lit. But yeah, Falcon fans, take a fan like Larry O. You will get upset about the team, but then at the end of the day, you will still realize that you're a fan and you want this team to win. So if that ticket is $27, I had a friend call me on Sunday, man, I ain't coming to the game, XYZ, them team, X, whatever. Called him back at halftime. Where you at, man? I'm over here heading to go take the picture, man. I had to go there with Mario and them. Done found him a ticket to come in the game because you're a fan. So at the end of the day, I understand the team might not be playing up to where you want them to be, but for the fans that show up to the away games, for the fans that travel to the home game, whatever you guys do, continue being a fan. Don't let nobody out-fan you. You know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody take your fan card. We're all in this shit together. Chase, your record is the same as mine as a Falcon fan. You ain't win no Super Bowl. Damn it. I ain't win no damn Super Bowl.
No.
We're all in this together, y'all. So Falcon fans, let's just do the best we can to continue supporting this team. Facebook users in the chat, he said, rise up. For the Facebook users, y'all can head over to YouTube. We want everybody, if you can, head over to YouTube, hit that subscribe button on One Time for the Fan YouTube channel. Dirty Fanatics United too as well. Make sure you head over there to his YouTube channel too as well, and hit the subscribe button over there. But if you're on Facebook, head on over to YouTube. You can still be on Facebook. Just head over to YouTube, hit that subscribe, head back on over. Jeremiah Weems in the chat. He said, Falcon fans.
Good, Jeremiah.
EQRC's in the chat. He says, sorry I'm late. Now you're on time, brother. You here. You here. We all talking Falcons football together. LaMarcus Boyd said QB and wide receiver is on his list going for the offseason.
Can see it. There's some nice ones that's sitting in the second round as well, but and that falls with the Calvin Ridley trade. You know, if you trade up and get the QB, you still got a 2 sitting there, so you can still grab that receiver.
Yeah, that is true. Avas is also in here chat. He's chatting it up with the Falcon fans. He said people can base it off this season, but I'd take Russ. But also got to think about any quarterback you want nowadays wants money. They all cost a dang fortune to get unless you get a Taylor Heineke, but we'll see. The Taylor Heineke, I'm glad you brought this up, Avas, because as we talk about these quarterbacks and being aggressive in the draft, we're not putting Taylor to the side yet either.
Nope.
If Taylor, let's just say the Bucks lose to the Saints Sunday. I'm sorry. When the Bucks lose to the Saints Sunday and the Falcons beat the Bears Sunday, we're going to fucking New Orleans to go win this shit. Right?
Yeah, that's true.
And that's where it's Taylor time. A fan texts me. A friend of mine too as well. Not just a fan. He said, imagine if the Bears lose Sunday. You guys beat the Bears. The Bucks lose. We go down to New Orleans. Ritter comes into the game some way, somehow, and beats the fucking Saints in New Orleans. And we go to the fucking playoffs under Desmond Ritter.
Oh, man.
That would be fucking crazy. But I guarantee you this. I'll still worry about the quarterback position next year.
But we in the playoffs, baby. Yes, sir.
You gotta love it.
That's all that matters.
You gotta love it. So to put Taylor Heineke to the side right now, I don't know. A friend of mine said, why don't they just draft the guy next year to play under Taylor? Taylor should have been the starter from the start.
That's what I'm saying.
And you could have had Ritter in this position where the fans would have wanted Ritter. We want Ritter. You want those moments. But then again, when they had Ritter this year, they was like, oh, shit, what do we got now?
Yeah.
So it sucks that, a lot was weighing on Ritter this season when the dominoes didn't fall in the right place for Ritter. The puzzle pieces wasn't there together. I understand. But Falcon fans, they're tired of this shit. They're moving on from it. They want now.
Yeah.
They want to win now. Who's the guy now? Who's the franchise guy now? That's why the Russell Wilson talk does heat up, because you have a guy who's a veteran in this league who you knows was under probably the wrong system in Denver. Sean Payton's a fucking ass too, is why I hate him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're gonna have that situation too, where fans are like, "Hey, I'll pay fucking Russell Wilson to 25 plus. Let's get him over here. Look at the weapons we got. We need that
They are
leadership. We
stacked.
need that veteran in the building." Someone say the same about Fields. Someone say, "Oh, he was in a bad system in Chicago." We need that type of Fields here in Atlanta. Hey, man, it's going down in the major way. I know the Falcons have to be very aggressive this offseason. So many teams that need quarterbacks. Washington, Minnesota. Are the Bucks going to keep Baker Mayfield? What are the Saints going to do down there with Derek Carr?
Yeah.
The Raiders. Are the Titans stuck with Malik Willis? Possibly. You know what I'm saying? You gotta go over these scenarios here, Falcon fans. Chase, Drake and Bijan on Sundays. We get ready to wrap up the show here in a couple minutes. They're on pace to hit 1,000.
Yeah.
2 games left in the season. Bijan has 873 on the ground. Drake, I believe he's sitting at like 8 something for receiving yards too as well. Both of them have a chance to hit 1,000 before the season is over. With this offense, with this play calling, with this quarterback, do they have a chance to both hit 1,000?
That's the thing, man. It seems like every game Drake's definitely a definite player that you can count to get targets and rack up some yards. It's the Bijan thing for me. These teams scheme for Bijan, man. I know they scheme for Drake as well, but a running back's a lot easier to scheme for than a receiver. I think it would be huge for our rookie to hit 1,000 just because he was that top pick at number 4. You know, everybody was against us drafting him that early. Some were for it, but I think Bijan could hit 1,000 if we come out there. Like I said, the Bears have a really good defense. He'd need to pace what I think 100 yards each game, next 2 games. So it'd be great for Bijan to do it, but I definitely think you see at least one make it, and I think that could be Drake. I think Heineke kind of leans on Drake a little. Ritter definitely leaned on Drake. So to see, you know, Drake have such a good game with him, and as well as Kyle Pitts, man. Kyle Pitts getting some touches. But yeah, I think at least for sure one of them hits 1,000.
Falcon fans, on Sunday, your Atlanta Falcons travel to Chicago to take on the Bears. They need a win in the Windy City. Drake London, Bijan Robinson on pace to get 1,000 yards. Bijan 1,000 for the ground. Drake 1,000 in the air. Even though the offense have had its struggles, I see that, you know, a lot of fans have, you know, they've threw in their fan card already. The season's over. They're like, let's just get to the off season. They're pretty much like, win on Sunday, whatever, lose on Sunday, whatever. They're ready to go to the fall of next year. But for me, you know, I like these type of moments to see players get their shine. Bijan has been fighting, and I'm telling you, like you said, Chase, teams stacked up against Bijan a lot this year. They knew coming into the season what this guy is capable of.
Oh, yeah.
Which I do think going forward in the next couple of seasons and so on, Bijan then becomes that star, because teams are going to have to really realize that he can work the field here.
The hype is real, as Philip says. The hype is real.
The hype is real around Bijan. That is true. And like you said, Taylor leaning on Drake a lot too as well. That is something where I do see in the next 2 games, both of them getting to that 1,000 mark.
That'd be great.
Now,
man.
Most teams might notice it. Hell, we're talking about it here as a fan. I'm sure the Bears defense is looking at it like, oh, they probably want to get Bijan close to 1,000. You know, they probably want to give him about 15, 20 touches. They want to give him over $1 on Sunday. So they're going to try to stack the box. That opens up your play calling now for your Cordero Hodge.
Something about stacking the box. I've seen that the Colts did a pretty good bit against us this last Sunday, and something we haven't seen a lot, man. The quarterback was audibling out of plays, man. I love to see it. And Taylor, that's another thing in Recipe 6 that says Taylor's got to be able to read the defense.
You're playing, like I said, some of these teams next year that, you know, Philly, I guess going forward now is going to be a Super Bowl contender before the season even starts. Most NFL media is going to push them through the roof. Kansas City, you know where they weigh before the season even starts. They're already people
Miami.
probably have them in the Super Bowl for the next 10 years with the NFL. So teams like that next year, quarterbacks like your Taylor Heineke's, can they get the job done? It goes with that coaching too as well. Because we mentioned it. If you bring in a rookie quarterback, Chase, you said it. Who's going to be there to develop this guy? Who's going to be there to help this guy, to coach this guy, to mentor this guy? The Falcons haven't been doing a good job of that. So who is the quarterback
Another
next
thing,
year? Huh?
Jack. I know we ain't on the coaching situation and all that, but just say you do go draft this guy this year. You go draft that quarterback for the future, and you have another mediocre season. If you let Arthur Smith go, he drafted this guy. The new head
Yep.
coach had nothing to do with this draft pick. So I think a lot of that ties in with the decision making this offseason.
Yep. Yep. EQ's in the chat. He said, "Do you see Atlanta trading BJ for a
No,
quarterback?"
sir. No, sir. Bijan's here. He's franchise running back. Not happening, bro.
Bijan ain't going nowhere. Falcons gonna trade some draft picks. They ain't with that whole trading player shit. They'll trade some picks in a minute though. Terry's cooking though. I know this team wants to win. Saw Terry after the game on Sunday, taking pictures with Falcon fans. The look on Terry's face said, "We still in it."
Mhm.
I didn't see a GM that's walking around here like with his head down. He's sad. He's over there taking pictures with fans. He's feeling good, even though you still have 2 games left. They know it, like I know it. They do need some help, but you're still in it. And there's different scenarios of how you can make the playoffs. About
Look,
if you can win the division,
Vikes
or
lose.
even if you can just get the wild card game.
Mhm.
I mean, we're not going to count the Falcons out until the
Let me
NFL
see
says
that
the
picture.
Falcons have been eliminated.
Yeah.
So, with that being said, I mean, we're going to keep this thing going. Upcoming events, man. Chase, one time for the fan, we've been doing a lot here with the podcast, man. And Falcon fans, y'all are great in the chat, talking with us and chatting with us all the time. Listening to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you check us in from, and Twitter and Facebook, YouTube, all these great places. All the Falcon fan groups too as well. Falcons Rise Up Family, Falcons 2.0, Falcons Unleash. Big shout out to all the admins that allow us to, play the podcast in the groups.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause they don't ban it. They don't, put a flag on it. They allow us to, talk with the Falcon community. So big shout out to you all, diehard Falcon fans. But we have this giveaway, Chase. That it's a lot for these Falcon fans. We always try to find ways to give back here at One Time for the Fan. We did it last year, and it was a success. And we're going to do it now this year. We hope there's going to be another success. So if you want to be a part of the One Time for the Fan giveaway, we have some cool Falcons merch that we'll be giving away at the end of the season. All you have to do is just hashtag one time in the chat. I just posted it right there for you all. Hashtag one time in the chat will enter yourself into the One Time for the Fan end of the season giveaway. We got some cool Falcons gifts to give you all, because sometimes you might be winning on the field, sometimes you gotta be winning off the field. So we're gonna make sure that you're winning off the field too as well. So we got some cool Falcons swag to give back to you all. So LaMarcus Boyd is entered. We do have like 25 people that's entered right now. And we're going to pick 5 winners, Chase. 5 winners. We can't do 20 winners. We can't do 30 winners. We're just going to do 5 winners here. So for Falcon fans that want to be a part of it, hashtag one time in the chat. It's going down in a major way. EQRC said, it's an interesting question. Do you think the Chargers will trade Herbert?
That's the question that's been going around for a while. I think if that's even a possibility, the Atlanta Falcons have to flirt with it. That's the quarterback of really good play since he's came in the league. Always held a high name for himself. So I would be definitely cool with seeing Herbert in Atlanta.
I have mentioned Justin Herbert in the chat before. Chase, I've mentioned that name. Coming out of college, I think Herbert was definitely a stud. So this guy right now at the position where the head coach is gone, the team has been awful this year, but at least Justin Herbert is still a name that a lot of NFL fans and media do talk about. The NFL wants Justin Herbert to be great. I don't think you guys know this. Like,
Right.
they want Josh Allen to be great. They want Justin Herbert to be great. Like, Jared Goff was supposed to be that guy too as well. And then he had the Super Bowl collapse. He lost with the Rams, and then he went to the Lions now, and now he has this team on the back now, and everybody's like, "Wait, the Lions with Jared Goff? Oh shit! Let me rewrite this NFL script." Some quarterbacks they just love talking about. Herbert, Big Ben was one of those guys too as well when he played.
Mhm.
Eli Manning was one of those guys too as well. Herbert just has this. I don't know. It's just this quarterback. He has like this stardom somewhere in him. Like he can be this quarterback. Like he can be the star
Mhm.
in the NFL. And I know he can. I know a lot of fans do have Herbert probably on their fantasy because he's known to probably put up some numbers here and there.
Yeah.
But
With some
if he
targets
is
too.
available, I'm going to talk about it here on One Time for the Fan.
Yeah.
I'm hell. I would pick up the phone and call the Chargers too. I would look into that. Russell Wilson. Think the Falcons. I ain't gonna lie. We're just talking from a fan perspective here. I think the Falcons will probably just want to hear what Denver has to say.
Yeah.
So when you hear that the Falcons are probably interested in this guy, it's possible. But Russell Wilson is named where you need a quarterback, Chase, next year because we're unsure what's going to be. We don't know if it's Desmond. We don't know if it's Taylor. We don't know if it's a rookie. We don't know if it's Justin Fields, Ryan Tannehill, Kirk Cousins. We don't know. But I think the Falcons are going to be picking up the phone a lot this offseason.
Oh, yeah.
And trying to find out what fits, what works. But Chase, you hit it right there with the nail on the head when you said, if you draft a quarterback and Smith gets fired, that new head coach might come in like, I didn't want this guy in the first place.
Yep.
So now he's stuck with this quarterback. So what is the end game here with the quarterback situation for Atlanta? I know they want to get a franchise guy, but I mentioned it before, Chase. They missed their mark on getting a franchise quarterback. They missed it. And now they have to bite the bullet and they have to say, okay, we can restart at least at quarterback. This ain't a full rebuild here. Let's just get that out the way. This ain't a full rebuild and you got to break everything down and start over. No, this is just, one of the panels came off on the side of the house. Yeah. Chase, you know about it. You remember when you came to the house the other day, you brought the ladder?
Shit.
But Chase, they're going to pick up the phone. They're going to call some people, man. You know that.
Oh, yeah.
But it's going down in a major way. Falcon fans, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. I know fans here, Diane has now entered into the competition. Got to put Avis in there. I'm going to go back and find out who the Facebook user is. We're going to go ahead and add the Facebook user in there. Is that Vincent Coakley? Or is that Chris Barnes? Might be Chris Barnes. Hashtag one time for the Falcon fans that want.
That's Vincent Coakley.
That's Vincent Coakley?
Yeah.
Bet. We'll get Vincent Coakley in there. Hashtag one time for the Falcon fans that want to be a part of the One Time for the Fan giveaway. Of course, last year we gave away the Kyle Pitts signed jersey. We gave away the game tickets. We had some other merch that we gave away too as well. Chase, you've been a big help with supporting what we have here at One Time for the Fan. Of course, Dirty Fanatics United has a lot going on over there too as well. We had a very interesting 2024 meeting yesterday talking about how we can bring more to the Falcon community here for One Time for the Fan. And I'm sure Chase was over there like, Dirty Fanatics United, we're going to go to goddamn 10 million subscribers next year. Because at the end of the day, we want to win not only on the field, but off the field too as well. And we get the messages from a lot of the fans when we don't go live. It's like, we need to talk Falcons now. Go live. So I'm glad that we're a big part of everybody's live here and what they do as Falcon fans. But we want to win. Chase wants to win. Bodie wants to win. Kiki wants to win. That's what we want. We want a Super Bowl here in Atlanta. That's what we want. So we're going to be here bringing a lot of content to you all until that day.
Oh, yeah.
Until that day. Minus that honestly might be the last podcast here for One Time for the Fan. When the Falcons win the Super Bowl. That's it. That's the last podcast. We'll just wrap it up. End of the season like some Walking Dead shit. It's over. We won't see it again no more. You know what I'm saying?
Man. Be lit. Be lit.
It's going down in a major way. The next time we'll be back is Sunday. Of course, we have the Falcons Bears 1:00. Whoo! Sunday night's gonna be interesting, Chase.
Yeah.
What are we going to talk about? Chase, I know you got some shout outs, man. You're a popular guy.
Shout outs, man. Shout outs to Atlanta Falcons for pulling out that dub Sunday, man. As a fan, man, we desperately needed that, and we got it in a passionate form of 29-10. So shout out to the Dirty Birds for finally finding that identity and being a real, true NFL team. Shout out to everybody in the comment section tonight. If you haven't already, man, hit that like, hit that share. Be sure to subscribe. Shout out to Kiki. Shout out to Bodie. Shout out to you, Jack. Shout out to anybody that shows me love on my channel, man. Be sure to check us out tomorrow at 8. Dirty Fanatics United. Me and my bro Philip, #Avits will be live. Check us out. If you haven't already, man, hit that subscribe, and much love.
And you see Chase also has the Dirty Fanatics United shirt on right now. Chase, this the new shirt?
Yeah, some changes coming to Dirty Fanatics United soon. So for now, we have a store open on Bonfire. If you haven't checked us out, we're at Bonfire. The name is Dirty Fanatics United.
Falcon fans, hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe button. Big shout out to all the Falcon fans from the Rise Up Tour too as well. I know some of you all are going to Chicago for the game this weekend. Hey Siri, what's the weather in Chicago on Sunday?
Expect cloudy
skies. Ooh, shit. Okay, Siri, we're talking about low 30s in Chicago. Falcon fans, let me paint the picture for you before we get up out of here. I was in Chicago for week 1. That was a September game, like 4 years ago when we beat Glennon. Second play, 4th and 1 or 4th and 2 in the end zone. It was a week 1 game. I was sitting somewhere near the 100 on the side of the Falcons, but in the shade. Because this how the stadium is. They have like these, they have the pillars that kind of block your way of seeing the view from going around the stadium. So it kind of like the shade blocks you. Mm-hmm. It was fucking cold. That was a September game. Mm-hmm. Cleveland in October, when it was snowing that time, when fucking Chubb went crazy on us that time, I was there. It was fucking cold. You're talking about Chicago on New Year's Eve. Low 30s for Falcon fans. Oh, y'all gonna feel that.
Yeah.
For fans that's from Chicago, oh, they good. They do this shit all the time. But for Falcon fans, I'm telling you, that wind will be kicking. They call it the windy season, the windy city for a reason. As you're walking through those parks to get ready to walk up to Soldier Field, you're gonna feel that wind. It's gonna hit you. It's right there. The lake is right there. It's gonna hit you. So bundle up, Falcon fans. Please bundle up, because Chase, the following week we go down to New Orleans. It's gonna be a little cold down there too.
Oh yeah.
Indoor stadium, but you still gotta walk around outside, and it's gonna be a little cold. So Falcon fans, bundle up as best as you can. For those that's heading out to Chicago, big shout out to the Rise Up Tour. We have this end of the year massive party down in New Orleans to end the season. We want everybody there in the building. Shout out to all the Falcon fans that's hitting the road for the last 2 games. Chase, this has been great talking Falcons football with you, sir. And then the New Year's coming up, man. Sunday night shows is going to be amazing. Hopefully we come in here with a win.
Oh, yeah. Got to.
You got to. For Chase, Bodie 3000, Kiki, One Time for the Fan is out. We will see y'all Sunday at 8. Peace
Appreciate
up.
Y'all.
What my boy say?
A-Town down.
A-Town down, y'all. See y'all later.